Hello there, this is part 2 of our tutorial series, and let's continue with this. So let's add the array. What direction is this going? Okay, so we need this to be in the y direction, negative y direction. So they need to interlock, like I can see the gap between these is a bit less than that. I think we can rotate this a bit to get a better looking result, maybe something like that. Yeah, so they're about 4. They have 1 2 3 4 for each of these. Let me see if that changes for any other one. Okay, so they are consistent, I think, for each one here. So maybe these other ones are a bit longer. So we'll see how to handle that. But let's first work on these small ones. What I'm going to do, I think the saturation here is still too much. So what I'm going to do here, I will add a color hue and saturation so that I can control the saturation independent of the colors. I think around there, that's good enough. Because we have longer chains that have, let me show you this here. You can see we have some longer ones here. What I'm going to do is duplicate this, Shift D, and leave it somewhere there as a backup. And then now I'm going to apply the array for this. Because you can see we have they're kind of different around the end here. So I'm just going to select this here, Ctrl L and Shift D. So my idea was to duplicate this and make a few rings that go around here, like how you would see here. But I think that is going to add a lot of polygons to our scene, and it's going to make our scene a bit too slow. And I think we already have too many polygons for this. If we are to duplicate this for every individual link, that chain we have here, it's going to be a lot. So we can come in here, since the camera is going to be hidden. This side is going to be hidden away from the camera. We can select those and delete those vertices. You can see you can't even tell that there is nothing there because of how the shading is. Yeah, so we can get away with a few vertices around there. Let me see if we can get away with deleting even a little bit more. Yeah, I think we can. So you really need to plan out how this is going to affect. You know what? No, I think it doesn't look good if we delete too much. So I think that's good enough. So instead of doing it as we see here, what I'm going to do is just duplicate this here, Shift D, push it here, and add in a few segments, bevel this, and add a third segment, and I'll just scale this out to kind of create that pattern there, and maybe add a few more like that. I think I need to rotate some of them, so maybe this can be rotated like this. Same with this. Just give them some random positioning and to mimic the effect, something like that. I think that's good enough. We have saved on polygons and achieved something somewhat similar to that. So I think that would be good. So I think we can slide these in so that we get a smooth shading around these corners here. Yeah, something like that. And Now, if you want, you can duplicate this as many times as you want, but I wouldn't recommend you to do that yet because we still have a few things to figure out here. You can see this link also has another link here before it connects to the main element. So let's see. So I'll just select this, Control Shift D, then rotate this in the y-axis 90 degrees, and then Shift D, rotate this 90 degrees like that. Now I think we can start working on let me see, what else can we, should we start on this? And because I'm going to be using a lot of bump maps here, I'm not going to model all the details you see here because that would be a lot of work, and it would kind of increase our polygon count by significantly. So let's model this part here. So let me first hide this element here. Shift A, add a plane. And just because we have the shade already, let me add that there. So let's select, this object has symmetry, so we can use that to our advantage and add a mirror modifier. I'll select this edge loop and vertex and push it there. Select these like that. I think I can add, before I, let me add a loop there, then select this like this. How are we going to do this? Let's squirrel here. I think we should start with this, so I'll just add a plane here, scale it down, make sure that's above. Okay, so let's try using the scroll modifier. So let me add a scroll modifier here for this, if I can find it. Deform screw. So move the mesh away from the axis, away from the pivot point. Let's rotate this 90 degrees and maybe delete some of these top vertices. Let's see which vertices do we need to delete. If we remove that, we get that. If we remove that, we get that. Let's add on the screw. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but we're just testing it to see. I think if we used an object screw, so it doesn't give us the object. No, that's a lot of steps. So let's just do this manually. So I'll select this vertex here. Make sure I'm selecting it, and extrude that along the inner side of this square. Also, make sure you're not adding a lot of polygons because it will be easier to extrude out with less polygons. And since we're going to be using the subdivision surface on this one, it shouldn't be too much a problem. So then we can start selecting these outside these edge loops, hit E to extrude them, and then start positioning them so that they follow that shape like that. So you want to start up with the outermost loops, and then we can connect them later like this. Push that out like that, and now we can start bridging some of these. So when you run into this issue here, you just add a loop there and push it out just a bit like that. And then for this here, for something like this here, like this U-turn, you can select the entire loop up to here, hit F, and then insert that edge loop. You can see it will give you that U-turn, do that U-turn for you, and then we can delete this extra face here and select these, push them around there. We need a few extra edge loops here to kind of follow that contour, like so. So we don't need this inside face anymore, and then we can do something like this, push them this closer. And we can select this edge and this, connect that, and kind of add another edge loop, remove this extra vertex, select this and this, add a loop here. Now for the inside part here, we can do the same thing. Just first make sure that this curve is going smoothly, like so. We can start bridging some of these faces like this and that. Make sure that they align correctly when you are connecting them. So in case of this, you just add another, you subdivide that and then bridge that like that. Let's move this around there. Something like that. And I think we can select this extrude and do something like that, so that we can bridge those like that, this with that, and maybe that with that. Let's see. Okay, so you can see what we have. For this, we can bridge this with that. This here, let's see. We can either add a loop here, or I don't want to add a lot of loops. I think we can get away without having this loop here, and can connect. Let's bridge these. Let's just use the triangles and this with this. I think we need an extra loop here, so I can subdivide this. Push that like that, and let's see. Okay, we have a triangle here. We can read that as well. So now to add in this loop here. So there are a few ways you can do this. You can just select, I think the easiest way is just to select this inside loop that goes around like this up to somewhere here, and bevel that, Ctrl B. Make sure you have an extra loop in the middle there, like so, and then we can select this edge loop, push it down like that. Now we can select this outside edge loop, but that is attached. Problem with that is attached to this, so let's first bridge this as well and make sure we're not missing any other details here. So select that edge loop, and you can see that goes around everything, and extrude that also this side, extrude that down, and maybe scale that out just a bit. I think I should also be scaling this. Maybe I don't want them to intersect, so I'll push them just down a bit. So you're going to run into issues in some areas. So you like here, so you need to push these outside like that. Let me do this in shaded mode so that you can see how they are inside instead of outside. So we need to select those outside loops and push them outside as they should be. Something like that. So I think we have the same issue here. They should be outside, on the outside, like that. So when we turn on smooth shade, when we turn on our subdivision surface, let me push this up a bit. You can see what we have, and you can see when you have such a sharp angle there, the first thing you should do is try to fix your normals by hitting Shift N to recalculate the normals. That usually fixes that issue. And for areas around here, let me see what we can do. If I remove this for a second, I think let's see. Can do this and this. Let's see if that helps. It's not the best, but yeah, it will do the job. It will do the jobs. So let's also turn on clipping here so that we can remove this issue here. Okay, something like that. And you know what? I think the resolution we added onto this is enough. For sometimes, if you're going to render this from a distance, you may not have to add this subdivision surface. That's another good thing, another advantage. I don't want this to clip, so I'll just select this. Make sure you have a clipping turned off, sorry. And let's push these in back a bit. Also this as well. So we may need to slide this edge loop a bit in. So let's see, something like that. And this outside edge loop as well. Push it in a bit like that. But not on this side here. Okay, so it turns out that this here is also supposed to be connected there. Turn on clipping and make sure it's merged at the center of the mirror, like that. I think that's good enough for that side. Let me bring this reference image. So let's look at this in okay, I think we need to UV unwrap this, so I'll just do that. If you want these to kind of follow that texture, sorry, follow these how do you call them, fibers, I think we can add a loop cut somewhere around here, sorry, a seam around there, and you can see we're getting something similar to the way these fibers are being, these brushes are following here. Let me see if we can do something better here. If we go to UV editing, I think we need to straighten these to follow the same contour here. So I can add, let me come here. I can add, let me first turn off this. I can add a seam around here, Control E, mark seam. But it needs to separate this entire element. So I think I can select this edge loop and that Control E, mark seam. You can see how this is becoming separated. Let's see. Now it's just a matter of flattening this up. But let's maybe break this up around there. So if you want, then you can straighten this entire edge loop, but make sure you don't have this turned on. So you can straighten this entire edge loop. Let's make sure that it's not connected. Okay, yeah, so it's not connected. You can straighten this edge loop to follow these contours by say right clicking, selecting this, and then right click, straighten X, and to straighten that, and you would straighten all the edge loops that are going that are connected to this. But that's a lot of work, and I think these results are not too bad for this here. So, and we do have a lot of things to model here. So let's just continue with the modeling. So we'll do that in the next part. Thank you for watching.